Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use the RepTool by reporters. In this video I want to explain you what to count to recycling and recovery. This video is the last content video of a series of videos for reporters as beginners, and you may have a look at the general video explaining the background and targets of the RepTool and the videos before, especially the video on final fractions to final technologies choose the use to be able to follow. Background and definitions. For answering the question what to count to recycling and recovery, we as the RepTool expert group followed the legal background given by the European legislation, like the WE Directive, the Waste Framework Directive, but also Commission decisions. We considered applicable judgments of the European Court, like to consider a regular municipal waste incineration plant as disposal, or the case law of Maya Perry to consider only final treatment processes as recycling or recovery operations. And we followed the changes of the recycling definition. With this, we did come to the RepTool model classifications, as we call them. This model classification is the main basis for the harmonized way of calculating recycling and recovery results. We provide a model classification for the work under the WE Directive 2002, see Model 1, also shown in the list of available reports, and we provide a model classification for the work under the WE Directive 2012, referring to the Waste Framework Directive 2008. See Model 2. Until the WE Directive 2002, the definition of recycling was given in the WE Directive. Here it is said that recycling means the reprocessing in a production process, excluding energy recovery. The WE Directive 2012 does not provide own definitions of waste or waste management terms, but refers, see Article 3.2, to the Waste Framework Directive 2008. In the Waste Framework Directive 2008, there is a more stricter definition of recycling given, which says recycling means any recovery operation by which waste materials are reprocessed into products, materials or substances, whether for the original purpose or other purposes. It excludes backfilling operations by definition. For explaining you the background on what we have considered to come to our decisions, please have a look at our website under Guidance Documents. What's new with Model 2? Main differences between Model 1 and Model 2 is the definition and interpretation of recycling in cases of plastics being used as reducing agent in, e.g. a copper smelter, will not be classified as recycling anymore. C. No products are achieved. Carbon will leave the process as CO2. For metals being used as reducing agent and going to the slag, the question on the use of the slag as product will have to be answered. For glass being used as slag building detergent and going to the slag, also the question on the use of slag as a product will have to be answered. The use of only the volume and or the physical properties of the waste fractions, like an unspecific construction material for dams, fills and filling of shafts, as cover material at landfill sites, or for driveway construction at landfill sites, is out of the recycling definition, as it is backfilling, e.g. in salt mines, by the recycling definition. These applications do not meet the recycling definition, but they do meet the recovery definition as waste fractions, as they are being used for a useful purpose and do fulfill a particular function. For uses of wastes which do not meet the recycling definition, but which are in the recovery definition, we inserted the interim term of OMR, Other Material Recovery. Again, please see the guidance document, What's New with Model 2 on this. For doing a report, you choose the calculation model already with the identification of the report. See the video how to identify a report, or the cutout video, choose the calculation model for a report. Please agree with your RepTool administrator under which model classification you shall create the report. How to go on in the report. You, as a user of the RepTool as reporter, you may choose the use of any fraction, its component in the final technology. Please see the video Fractions to Final Technologies. Choose the use on this. When you search the applicable uses with the 3-dot button and being in the list of available components used in final technology, you will see the agreed model classification regarding what to count to recycling and what to count to recovery. In model number 1, we distinguished between, let's see, at plastics, MR for recycling as material recycling to distinguish at this time from energy recovery. Energy recovery, thermal disposal, and LD as other or mainly landfill disposal. See the example on plastics, where we have e.g. plastics for the production of plastics or granulates, clearly classified as recycling, and plastics being used as reducing agent, classified as recycling because it is used in a production process of a copper smelter special. See the definition of recycling based on the W Directive 2002. Or let's have a look at glass. Glass being used as raw material in glass production, clearly classified as recycling. And glass being used as slag forming component, classified as recycling because it is used in a production process of a copper smelter. See the definition of recycling based on the W Directive 2002. In model number 2, we inserted the interim term of OMR, other material recovery, to have now the options, beside preparing for reuse, of R for recycling, OMR for other material recovery, still energy recovery and thermal disposal and landfill or other disposal. See the examples of plastics like used before, where we still have plastics for the production of plastics or granulates, clearly classified as recycling. But plastics being used as reducing agent is now classified as OMR, as no products of carbon are achieved and carbon is leaving the plant as CO2 through the chimney. See the definition of recycling based on the Waste Framework Directive 2008. Or looking at the options for glass. We still have glass being used as raw material in glass production, clearly classified as recycling. But glass being used as slag forming component, we distinguish the classification based on the use of slag as byproduct or as or in a defined product as recycling. And if slag is not used as a byproduct or as or in a defined product, as OMR, as other slag forming components are replaced by the glass. You as reporter may only choose a use in a final technology with the given model classification. You may not change the model classification. You may only do a different national classification, but of course you should approve by relevant documents or interpretations given by your national authority. Please see a planned video on the national classification under advanced uses. Examples for the classification as recycling. What you will see is that for the classification as recycling, we ask that waste fractions are used as raw material in production processes. You may filter for raw material. C class, class production as CRT class or other class. Or that waste fractions are used for feedstock substitution in production processes and other products are achieved. You may filter for feedstock. See a lot of options given there. See here examples for plastics, polyurethane foam, and glass with the distinction of the use of the slag. In other cases, we ask that defined products are achieved. Let's do a selection. Model classification R, defined products. In these cases, we give examples on the points to be considered under the example technology, like, for example, that technical requirements have to be met. Enter requirements, and you will see a choice of these options. If these products are not achieved, there will be most of the time a classification as OMR, as only the recovery definition is met. See the examples of the use of slag, the use of glass, and the use of mineral fractions. Other approvals. What you will see at different places is that we ask for an approval that products are achieved for giving the recycling classification. In the guidance document, Issues of Harmonization, we have put together our ideas how this proof of products may be given, e.g. providing a product or brand name, a product specification describing the product, a proof of application if WE fractions are directly applied, or a process description if the WE fractions are further treated to get a product. For more details on this, please see the planned video Proof of Products, Proof of Application under Advanced Users. When the approval as product, as defined product, may not be provided, in many cases the recovery definition is met and a classification as OMR may be achieved. Also, an approval on the technology used may be asked for the classification as recycling, but also for the OMR or energy recovery classification. You may filter for approve for the recycling classification or OMR. See the use of plastics and organic residues as reducing agent in special smelters. Or for the energy recovery classification, see the use of plastics and organic residues for fuel substitution in special smelters. For technologies called special, please see the video Approve Technology Special, or the necessary approval of the high efficiency of municipal waste incinerators to be considered as R1 recovery operation given by the Waste Framework Directive 2008. Please see the efficiency criteria there as food mark in the list of recovery operations. For more details on this, please see the planned video Proof of Technology under Advanced Users. With choosing the use in the final technology, you take over the model classification regarding recycling and recovery. At the end of doing a report, and I am now in a finished demo dataset, for the recycling rate, only the shares of WE fractions being classified as used as recycling will be counted. For the recovery rate, the shares of preparing for reuse plus recycling plus other material recovery plus energy recovery will be summed up. For more information, please have a look at our website where we provide a demo version under Purchase. Other information like FAQs. All details are shown in the user manuals, especially the user manual reporter level on how to create the report. For questions regarding the classification of recycling and recovery, please have a look at our guidance documents in which we try to explain the differences between the recycling definitions in What's New with Model 2 and give quite some examples on the correct use of the RepTool in the guidance document Issues of Harmonization. option. If you have any questions or remarks, please use the Contact Us option and let us know. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.